Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Knowledge Talks, a weekly edutainment and knowledge sharing program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. Every week, Knowledge Talks hosts and invites guests that are experts, professionals, and leaders from the field that bring wealth of knowledge to you. Knowledge Talks also highlights and promotes talent in the country that contribute knowledge and success to the nation. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday at 5 p.m. I'm your host, Shaikha Al Jassasi, along with our studio engineer, DJ Saleh, for an hour bringing you free knowledge at your doorsteps on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Okay, stay tuned after this music break for quick introduction and interesting personality today that is making a great impact in the society, mashallah. Welcome back to Knowledge Talks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Shaikha Al Jassasi, along with our studio engineer, DJ Saleh, with you here live today on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Can a visually impaired individual pursue education? Can they also work? What about using and even interacting with technology, needless to mention, an active lifestyle? Well, my guest today on Knowledge Talks, ladies and gentlemen, is an active and indeed a winning personality who does it, mashallah, who is experienced and is making the best of it as a winner and an elite example. The question is, who is it? Miss Shaikha Al Jassasi, who was born visually impaired, nevertheless is a graduate from SQU with a BA in translation and mashallah is working as a media and communication specialist, and even more is contributing in big value in the society, mashallah. Shaikha was also a board member of Al Noor Association for the Blind, presiding the Women Committee, and was also elected as a Middle East representative at the Executive Committee at the Asian Blind Union from 2013 to 2016. MashaAllah. Shaikha is passionate about raising awareness about peoples with disabilities rights and capabilities and highlighting accessibility issues when it comes to providing services to persons with disability. That by being effectively participating in making a positive impact in our community, mashallah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a noble cause. That is a winning personality, mashallah. And the question is now, how does she do it? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to learn all this directly from Shaikha, who is with us here at Knowledge Talks to speak and share a success story. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Shaikha. How are you doing today?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everybody. I'm so pleased to be here. It's a privilege to be a guest of Mr. Tariq and to talk to you about my life experience and all these details.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. First and foremost, thank you for accepting to attend our interview today to speak about your experience, MashaAllah, and share knowledge on how others can also achieve a better life like yourself, MashaAllah. Now, to start with, Shaikha, I would like to share with you my personal experience when I came to know about you.
Okay.
Of course, I heard about that we've got a new member who is joining with us at Knowledge Oman.
Yeah.
And then we have our own group in the WhatsApp where people are communicating. And then I started seeing the messages of the team. I always like to see how the interaction between and how people are communicating, exchanging how they're thought. And it's also good learning for me on how people are thinking and the dynamics within the team.
Yes.
And then I get to see Shaikha sending messages. And I was looking at it, Shaikha sending messages. And not only just ending messages, but very meaningful messages and interpreting what people are saying. And I said to myself, wow, now that's very, very interesting. And then I don't know whether you recall, I, of course, was responding to the group, but then I started sending you directly messages.
Yeah.
And that was because I was challenging my mind. I said, is it real that I'm seeing that she's responding very, very fast? Not only very, very fast, but very, very well. Not only very, very well, but mashallah, very, very meaningful. And that's when it came for me to start saying, let me learn about who is Shaikha, what are the things that you have done. And that's when I came to us learning about the different activities that you've done. MashaAllah. That's when I've come to learn that a little bit about your lifestyle. Where do you work? And then that's when I said, you know what? She is one of a very important guest that I would like to invite in Knowledge Talk. And that's how I came to know you.
Thank you so much.
And I'm very happy we're good friends now.
Yeah, of course. Me too.
Shaikha, tell me one thing. The first is I want to know the secret. The secret is, how were you responding to all that messages? Was it someone writing them for you?
No, of course.
Was it your brother?
No.
Was it your friends?
No.
Then now you tell me, how did you do it?
Okay. We can say that nowadays, in the latest advancement in technologies and this rapid changes in technology is trying to bridge the gap, the digital gap between people and between knowledge and sharing of information. So this what happened also with people with visual impairment like me.
Okay.
We found that technology is trying to help us, is trying to empower us, is trying to open up lots of opportunities. So I'm using now smartphones, screen reader. I use one of the smartphones that has a voiceover,
Okay,
and
mashallah.
which talks to me. It reads aloud everything on this screen.
Okay.
When I type or when I touch it, it's I never imagined in my life that I would be able to use a touch screen. It was something. It was a dream for me before.
MashaAllah.
And then when I discovered this, I said to myself, how I will be able to use it.
Okay.
For 3 weeks, when I got my smartphone.
Okay. And which one is it?
I didn't want to mention it, but it's an iPhone.
Okay. Oh no. And I like one thing, by the way, from you is that you're like me, by the way. Of course, it could be better because when it comes to devices, I try to avoid mentioning the brands.
Yes.
And it seems you have the same style. MashaAllah. Okay.
I don't want to promote it, but it's the one.
It's the device that you use.
This is the one that I use.
Yeah.
It has a voiceover which reads aloud everything on the screen, as I said. And the thing that I like about it that I can use all the applications, all the features that everybody's using, and it's the same one that you and everybody's using as well. So
Mashallah.
it makes it it kind of including us in the society. And what I like about them, they make lots of research on how make it accessible to us. It's not easy, I know. And when I switch on the voiceover, I can type messages. I hear when I tap on the screen, I hear, for example, A, B, or C. Then I select the letter that I want, and then I type it. And also I use Twitter, Facebook, I use all these social media networks, and I interact with the public. I now it's opening lots of windows and opportunities for us.
MashaAllah. Now that is very amazing. I mean, the only way people can realize that if they start communicating with you WhatsApp, and I can tell you one thing, they will be wowed like myself. I mean, I was very, very impressed, and that's why I wanted to know the secrets, first thing. And then secondly is for others to learn how they could do that as well. I'll just go one step back when you talked about smartphone, and then you gave an example as an iPhone. Is this possible for any smartphone?
Yes, it's possible, but in different ways.
The
quality is different. The features are different. How to use it is a bit different from one device to another.
But it is possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, but the one thing that the good thing in some of the smartphones that they make it available in all their smartphones. So, I mean, when you buy it, you don't need to pay extra money to get the service. So this service is free. Everybody, each iPhone on this planet is enabled with voiceover.
Voiceover.
And not only voiceover, accessibility features. For people with deaf impairment, people with mobility impairment, and all these kind of things.
Very good input, Shaikha. So you're saying that people who are visually impaired or have any kind of disability can interact and can use technology one way or the other. Technology made it easy for people to utilize them.
Of course, yes.
And then you're setting me any smart device, like a smartphone or a tablet or so on, has the feature embedded, so you don't need anything extra.
Exactly.
So then what you need is basically a training?
Yes.
Tell us about the
you
training.
need how to know it, how to use it. It's not quite easy.
Okay.
I didn't have any training, but my colleagues who used it before me, and we have like a network where we share knowledge, experience. Sometimes we record some of the tips and guidelines how to use it. So we teach each other as visually impaired people, because we don't have training centers here to train us how to use it. And sometimes in the Noor Association for the Blind, we organize such training programs for us. So one of us who is expert in something can organize a training program, and then we can learn from that person.
MashaAllah. That's very good.
Yes.
Very, very exciting thing to learn about and see that is happening.
Yes.
Where are the centers available? So for people, let us say people who are listening right now and say, you know what, I would like to become like Shaikha, I would like to attend the centers. What are your recommendations and the places that people can go?
Centers, training centers, I couldn't recommend places.
Okay.
But I think they are around the globe. You can find lots of places.
So there's a lot of opportunities available.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the West, in the UK, and even in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they are really experts in this field as well.
Okay. How did you personally know about it? So you say, you told me at the beginning of the show was that it was your dream to use a tablet.
Yeah, of course.
And the dream has been achieved, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
How was it? From friends, colleagues?
Yes, from friends
And colleagues.
who started to use it.
Okay.
And then I saw them using it, and I said to myself, yes, I have to start to use it as well.
Okay.
So I started it, and I have a sister who is also blind, so she is starting to use it as well.
MashaAllah, mashallah, mashallah. So it is possible.
We saw the benefits that we gain when we are using it in terms of education, better opportunities, and better communication with other. Before, I will tell you the story when I was using the old mobile phones.
Okay.
I used the old ones, Nokia and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
And before, I used to have them, but they were silent.
Okay.
I mean the mobile phones.
Yeah.
And I used to go to people whenever I received an SMS or something. I go and I ask my parents or my brother or someone to read it for me.
Okay.
So if I couldn't find someone, so I will hold on for a while until someone is available.
Yeah.
So this was the way I learned how to type and everything, but it was not reading anything. It was not saying anything.
Yeah.
So when these devices came, or we knew about them, it's really made a big difference in our lives.
MashaAllah, mashallah. That's very, very exciting to know. Now, tell us, how do technologies help people with disability to have better opportunities?
I mean, before,
Yeah.
when I was graduate of high school,
Yeah.
I started to learn about screen reader. So
Okay.
this screen reader, the one that I use on my laptop or on any computer, and I learned typing.
Okay.
So I wanted to join the English department. I wanted to study translation, and this was my dream. And I knew that it was impossible before.
Okay.
The door was not open for people with visual impairment.
Okay.
Because they couldn't type by themselves, because the exams were done for them orally.
Okay.
So that's why they didn't want us to do exams orally. They want us to type by ourselves. Then when I learned typing, and this gave me a good solution. So when I joined SQ at the first time, I told them that I want to study English, and I want particularly to study translation. So they challenged me. They said, you couldn't write. I said, no, I can write now. I have my own computer. So I told them that I have a solution for the oral exams.
Yeah.
And then I studied. Of course, there were challenges during my life at SQU. I was the first to join the translation, the first blind who joined the translation department.
MashaAllah,
So
MashaAllah.
it was really, we proved to them that visually impaired people can really do it. They can really study the thing or the specialization they want and they like. And so this is one of the opportunities. It provided us with equal opportunities in terms of education. Also, it provided us now when I came to be employed, or when I was looking for a job, it was really an advantage that I use technology in a better way or independently, so I can communicate with others and I can receive emails, go through the internet, and do or perform any task I am given.
MashaAllah.
So it gave me the opportunity to work as a normal person and do what like others are doing.
And even better, I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm participating effectively and productively in the community.
MashaAllah.
So these kind of opportunities that we were looking for, and we, alhamdulillah, we are getting, and we are trying really, to achieve and to really contribute in the community.
MashaAllah. You know, I'll tell you one thing, Shaikha, since I've known you, heard about you, and I've spoke to you about time, you're very humble. May Allah bless you. When you said we do like how others do it, I can tell you one thing, you do it better. Because I work with other people, and many times when we've asked for certain things that to be done, people will take their own sweet time. Even on the mobile phone, when you send them a WhatsApp message, you are fast.
Thank you.
And I like the way when you say, I will do it. I will respond to you. For instance, when we were communicating about this interview, and when you say, I will get back to you, I will do it, you have come back to me. And what I was looking at, and that's when I responded to you and I say, MashaAllah, you're fat, and that's fantastic. Now, tell us the secret. Is this a characteristic attribute that would you say that people should build, for instance?
Yes, of course. You mean
the speed, the commitment?
The commitment, of course. These kind of attributes or characteristics of people who are really willing to give, who are really willing to contribute, who are really have something to, and this is our role in the community, and this is why we are here.
True.
And this is for me, it's I have a cause, I have a message. I want really to open the door for others as well, not only for me. So this I want really, when I communicate with others, when I do anything, it really says that people with visual impairment, I want people to change their view about people with visual impairment. I don't want them to say, oh, masakin, poor people, they cannot do, it's difficult for them. No, let them relax, let us give them everything they want. No, I want people to give us the opportunity, the confidence that we need in order really to have our say and to have our, and to do anything, or to do or to really make an impact also by ourselves.
MashaAllah.
And with the help of others, of course. And whenever people are realizing what we can do and our abilities and what we can do, they will treat us better, and their point of view when it comes to people with visual impairment will be changed. I'm sure about that.
I can tell you confidently, MashaAllah, you are an elite example of that, from the way that I've heard from your colleagues who are with you from Knowledge Oman and people who work with you from ITA example, and also people who have interacted with you. That's a great example. Not only that, you have this thing in you, said, I will do it, I will get it done. You went to the Jama'at Sultan, mashallah, you graduated, you had a dream to have an iPad, you're using it right now, you're communicating, you can do it all. And I think, as you said, the characteristic is people have to be willing to do, people have to work hard for it.
Yeah.
Now, I need you to tell me, so others can learn as well, how do we involve people with disability to actively participate at workplace and help them also to be productive in the community?
As I mentioned, they need to be given the opportunity. They need to be given the confidence, the trust. And whenever they get that, they will for sure, they will they will do amazing things. I'm sure about it. And then,
Inshallah.
lots of stories, and people are now genius. People with visual impairment are really geniuses. Some of them in IT field, some of them programmers, some of them website developers, some of them, you name it.
Yes.
So they need only the trust and the confidence from people, because sometimes our limit is not our capabilities.
Okay.
Our limit, the people who don't trust us.
No, I respect that fully. If you were to telling me some of the challenges that people have with disability, what would that be? From pursuing education, work lifestyles and so on, what would you tell me?
Sometimes there is lack of awareness on the assistive technologies that we use, and the software and applications that we are using.
Okay.
And sometimes so providing such services are missing in some of the places. And so that's why as a result we will not get better education or better workplace. In some workplaces they don't understand how people can, or how visually impaired people can really interact and communicate with others. They don't know how these people can do things, and they don't know even so that's why they don't give them the opportunity. Whenever they know that they are blind, they will say, no, we want someone who can do the better job, who can do the job better than them.
Okay.
So this kind of thing that we need to change, this kind of services. I mean, sometimes, as I said, there are no training centers, but around in different places there are training centers. And people who are really willing to do something, they will do it, and they will find a way. They will find a solution. As I encourage people to give them the opportunity, they have to teach them, to be with them, to monitor them, and to correct them whenever they do wrong.
Okay.
Because it's a normal habit. It's a normal thing that you correct others, that you correct your colleagues at work.
True.
And also blind people.
True.
Whenever they do mistakes, you have to tell them to correct them.
True.
Maybe they don't know that they made a mistake, so you need to really guide them, to provide the support that they need from you, so they learn from you and they develop as well.
I agree, and I respect that fully. So if you said some of the services that are needed to enable people's disability to live a better life, what would that services be?
Accessibility services. I mean, sometimes whenever lots of emails, lots of documents, lots of information are missing because they are not accessible for us. For example, our screen readers and voiceover and all these kind of things, they don't interact with images. So people, they don't know how to build for example, mobile applications, how to make them accessible.
Okay.
And I think we need more awareness on this. Awareness on how to make things accessible, websites, mobile applications, emails, documents, how we can really deliver important messages to people with disability, or people with visual impairment or visual or disability in general. So this is the most important services that we need, and also building accessibility where we can get better access and where we can move independently in different places.
MashaAllah.
Movie with audio description, for example, in the theater, because I visited some of the countries and they have audio described movies where I go to the cinema as any person and I listen to the description whenever there is silence in the movie, or whenever there is movement. There are movement that I don't know about them. So lots of services that really are missing, but I'm sure that our community is developing, and we will get them sooner or later.
Inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in is 24602058. I repeat, that's 246058. If you have any question that you would like to ask to our dear Shaikha, you can call in live on 24602058. We're going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and revert back to our interesting discussion with Shaikha. interesting interview and discussion with Shaikha, who is, mashallah, making a great round from having graduated from SQU as far as education is concerned, currently working for the ITA, the authority in the media and communication department, mashallah, and she's also involved in the community and society with Knowledge Oman, and she is also has done a number of activities, and the good thing is that she keeps pushing forward. Now, during the break, I was just saying that, mashallah, Shaikha, you have done a great, that even someone who has doesn't have some kind, for example, someone who's not visually impaired can't do or doesn't do, probably due to some could be a commitment or attribute and so on. You know what response that she says? You know, Tariq, I'm not done yet. I'm going faster. I'm going to do even better. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an attribute of someone who's successful, mashallah. Shaikha, tell me one thing. With every great success, there is probably challenges along the way. Now, especially in the beginning. Tell me about yourself from the beginning till date. If you're going to give me highlights.
Yeah.
This were the challenges, how you have overcome them to where you are today and where you're going tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay. First, when I was born, I was the first child in my family. And they were in... My parents were not... My father was educated, but my mother was not highly educated. But when they knew about me, about my visual impairment, they decided to raise me as a normal child. And then the challenges came when they wanted to teach me. They wanted to give me knowledge, because they believed that knowledge will give me the power that I will need later on. And they didn't find schools that they can accept me. And it was painful for them to see their child is not going to school like others. They started to search and until they found a school for me in the kingdom of Bahrain. MashaAllah. So they were, thinking about it all over again and again, either to send me or to keep me at home and to keep me ignorant for my whole life. And they took the brave decision, which really I thank them for it. And they sent me to study abroad independently without them. It was really one of the first and biggest challenges that I faced, to live abroad without my parents, without my family, in a boarding school for like around 9 years. But there I learned everything. I learned how to read and write. I learned how to do things by myself, how to solve my problems, how to make relationship with new people, and how to travel alone sometimes, how to interact, how to do everything. I learned it. I made mistakes and I learned from them, and it was really very difficult period in my life. And but I think my personality really was strengthened after these 9 years, and I learned lots of things. And I came here to Oman to study in a normal school, in a government school with girls. I was the first visually impaired student in that school. And this school was one of the governorate in Oman. And they didn't know how to deal with me and how to teach me. But I promised them that I will help them to teach me, and they will help me. I promised them that we will make it together. MashaAllah. And the teachers welcomed that, reluctantly, of course, at the beginning. And my family, the challenges, it was one of the challenges that really was difficult for me, finding books in Braille, the curriculum books. Okay. And those books were not available either on Braille format or in recorded audio format. So my parents and my family members started to record for me the books in cassettes.
Okay.
And I listened to them. And then teachers, sometimes they didn't know how to deal with me in terms of drawing and pictures. So they started to describe things. So each challenge, we tried to find a solution for each challenge. And then I had to take my exams orally. And it was really a challenge where I came from an institute, a school for the blind, where I used to do with them independently in Braille method. But when I came here, I had to do them orally. So it was a challenge. Imagine that I did mathematics, chemistry, physics, all these kind of subjects orally. I have to do different things. Calculations and all these kind of things on my mind, and then I have to tell them my teacher or who was reading the questions and then writing down the answers. I got, alhamdulillah, good marks, and then I joined the university. The university also, the books were a problem. I couldn't find printed books in Braille, but people were helping me. Some of the professors, some of the girls. And moving around sometimes is difficult. I want to do things, I want to do activities, I want to participate in this event, I want to organize something. And moving around at SQ was really something difficult for me. Sometimes I couldn't go to lecture because I don't have someone to go with me. So these kind of challenges, and sometimes the challenges that I face, people reaction towards people with visual impairment, as I said, they don't want to give us the opportunity that way. But whenever we prove to them that we are capable, they start believing on us, and they start to realize that really we can do different things.
MashaAllah, which is I totally respect and I totally like. And I can sum it up, your activity saying, your achievement saying it is like, when there is a will, there is a way. Yes. And that's what was with you. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and revert back to our interesting discussion with Shaikha. Exciting interview today with Shaikha, and there's a lot, of course, to discuss and talk about, but of course we've got only a few minutes for the end of the program. Nevertheless, of course, I'll take the permission. Shaikha, we can invite you again for the program?
As you like.
Inshallah. And we do have a caller online right now. Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Very high.
Are you able to hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm so excited that I managed to get on time for this call because I work in education.
Okay.
And one of the core focuses of our work is to help disabled students and empower them to know that there are opportunities beyond what is prescribed for them.
MashaAllah.
And to encourage other people to support them. So I was really excited to hear Shaikha on the radio.
Alhamdulillah. Shaikha is listening to you right now as well.
Hi, Shaikha. My name is Kritika.
Hi. Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much for, coming online today. It was such an inspiration to hear you.
Thank you.
I work for this Australian company called Global Education Solutions, and we are here to make a difference in the space of education in Oman. And we were wondering if there's a way to connect with you, and we want to definitely work with you to make a difference.
Inshallah. I'm ready for any help, and I'm here to help as well.
I'm so sorry. I'm not able to hear you very well.
I'm ready for anything, and we can communicate, and we can. I don't know how we can communicate, and then maybe you can.
Sure. Maybe could I get your number, email from?
Yes, maybe
Yes, sure. Well, Shaikha is very much available in online as well. If you go to Facebook and write Shaikha Al Jassasi, you can find her. In fact, if you go on I've promoted this interview on all the social media platforms. If you go to the Facebook, for instance, you will see her name. Send her a message, and I'll promise you, inshallah ta'ala, you'll get a response. She's too fast.
Perfect.
So then you can communicate and agree with her. Shaikha Al Jassasi, that's her name. And if you go to the Facebook, you will also find her on one of my posts, the latest post, which talks about the interview. And of course, I'm going to post again the whole interview, where you're going to listen to this discussion you and I talking now. And you will see Shaikha, I'm going to tag her name as well.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I'm really, really excited to work with you, Shaikha.
Thank you, inshallah. Looking forward.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Shaikha, before we end up the program for today, anything that you wish to share to our audience?
Um, um, First of all, I would like to thank you for this interview. It's exciting. It really went very fast, and I really want to say to the public, because of you, because of help of Allah, and because of you, we really, as blind people, we managed to do great things. Continue this support. Continue to be with us and to support us, so we can achieve things, greater things. And it's really wonderful to see how people are looking and changing their views about people with disability. So thanks for everybody who supported me and supported everybody who is visually impaired.
Shaikha, keep up the great attitude, keep up the great humbleness that you have, and keep up the winning lifestyle that you have, especially if there is a will, there is a way. I love that very much. Thank you very much for joining us today on Oman Radio FM 90.4. I have personally learned a lot and continue to learn from you. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all that you do, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday, same time at 5 p.m. for a knowledge session. I'm Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer, Al-Iremi, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant week. Ma'as salama.